day, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video will be a little different from the others in that I only want to warn you of the possibilities of how prophecies can be fulfilled. I said it like that because the evildoers have an extremely wide range of opportunities and methods to complete their overall plans. If you're anything like myself, don't get smart. We know this is the 2-minute warning for them, meaning there is no way in Hades they will leave any of their options on the table. Saying that, Miss Observe to the end, Miss Reader, Miss Jackson, when you read Daniel 2:42 through 43 in the Septuagint, how do you perceive they will accomplish this? Context. Brother Daniel is telling the king the interpretation of a dream the king had about the present day and upcoming kingdoms upon the earth. We will pick it up at the end kingdoms. You know, the present day. Daniel 2:42 through 43. Quote, "And whereas the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of earthenware, part of the kingdom shall be strong, and part of it shall be broken. Whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with earthenware, they shall be mingled with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave together, as the iron does not mix itself with earthenware." Example. This is a clear indicator there are at least 3 different genus of things walking together now. The iron, the earthenware, and the hybrid, iron mixed with earthenware. Most people are aware of the meaning of this verse, but I want to bring your attention to something within the passage that may broaden your scope of understanding. Am I the only person to find, quote, "But they shall not cleave together, as the iron does not mix itself with earthenware," a bit odd to say? I mean, it's as if Yah is telling us this mixture is not by natural means. Also, to say, quote, "iron does not mix itself," tells me the admixture is either non-willing or unbeknown. This video is a warning of a couple of methods that can be used for the admixture part. Question. Is Mr. Truth Seeker the only person to find it strange Nimrod was born human and became a giver? I believe this exact same thing will happen, or should I say, is happening to mankind today. You think I finally lost my battle with psychosis, huh? Let me set the stage. Leviticus 17:10 through 14. Quote, "And whatever man of the children of Israel, or the stranger that abides among them, shall eat any blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eats blood, and will destroy it from its people." Stop. So the body is truly just a shell after all. The soul is what matters and can be destroyed. But let's continue. Quote, "For the life of flesh is its blood, and I have given it to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. For its blood shall make an atonement for the soul." Stop. Notice, blood is the life of the animal's flesh, but it atones for your soul. Let's keep going. Quote, "Therefore I said to the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, and the stranger that abides among you shall eat blood. And whatever man of the children of Israel, or the soldier, or the stranger abiding among you, shall take any animal and honey, beast or bird, which is eaten, then shall he pour out the blood, and cover it in the dust. For the blood of all flesh is its life. And I said to the children of Israel, ye shall not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Everyone that eateth it shall be destroyed." Example. I know many people who get stuck on the letter of the law and not look for the spirit of the meaning of the law. I don't know what you perceive, but I perceive exactly what it says. The life force of all flesh, meaning you and I also, is in the blood. Those without spiritual understanding get stuck on the fact of the words, "do not eat blood." But the spirit of the words mean, do not eat, incorporate, or mingle your life forces. Why? Because if a soul's life is within the blood, to incorporate or mingle the blood would mean your soul's life force will be intertwined. And everybody knows if you add or take away, it is no longer pure. This brings me to my warning of how the evildoers could mingle themselves, their life forces, with the seed of men. But wait, to add to the malfeasance, what if I can show you that not only does your life force change with mixing the blood, your physical DNA pattern changes also, thus becoming a giver unawares. Tall order, huh? Let's get started. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine National Institute of Health, meaning this is not baptized scribe's understanding, under transfusion-associated microchimerism, the hybrid within. Quote, microchimerism, the coexistence of genetically disparate populations of cell in a receptive host, is well described in both clinical and physiological settings, including transplantation and pregnancy. Microchimerism can also occur after allergenic blood transfusion in traumatically injured patients, where donor cells have been observed decades after transfusion. To date, transfusion-associated microchimerism, which is TAMC, appears confined to this clinical subset, most likely due to the immune responses that occur after severe trauma that allows foreign donor cells to survive. Transfusion-associated microchimerism appears to be unaffected by leukoreduction and has been documented after transfusions in an array of blood products. Example. Wow. What they just told us in essence was, one master donor's blood will survive our normal white blood cell immune system and irradiated manufactured blood if trauma occurs first. Damn. I'm a lab tech. I understand how deep this truly is. Is this the reason it seems our recent wars have produced far more PTSD patients than others much more destructive wars combined? Are they causing trauma only to upload a master blood into the soldier system? Is this the method behind trauma-based MK Ultra and how the patsies seem to take on the evildoers' spirits at will? Is this the link on how those who commit false flag atrocities have all been on PTSD drugs, meaning trauma-based, meaning gateways to demons via drug firewall breakdown or full-fledged oppression? Remember in the last video, we talked about how the spirits of Yah rushed upon the deliverers of Israel and they vanquished their enemies, and how the evildoers are counterfeiters and will copycat the same results? Well, this is as good a place and method to begin as any. It seems if there is trauma, the body will accept enough of the foreign blood supply, which changes their blood type, thus life force, thus their flesh, thus their soul's essence that will be required in the end. With the change of blood vibrations, yoga, chi, etc., spirits of a more powerful nature can oppress and even possess their host, making them mighty men indeed. But wait! To further the affliction of possibilities, what if the chimerism allows the many blood products mentioned earlier, specifically synthesized to take over the host's entire system and upload a new one like a virus? The body is the world's first and most complex computer that makes them a new creature outside of Yah's restrictions placed upon the angels. Think about it logistically for a minute. Something has to happen that's simple, less threatening, and under the radar of Bible-believing Jesus freaks. Why do I say it like that? Because all of them are looking for the things written in the book of Revelation, and anything that can be remotely linked to the appearance of fulfillment is going to set off alarms in the Christian and apocalyptic worlds. That scenario don't jive with the Messiah nor Daniel when they said for the sake of the elect, the days were shortened and no flesh would be saved. Or no flesh would be saved. It didn't say no soul would be saved. It said no flesh. This tells me their method for mingling themselves is complete. Animals too. And without their true knowledge or by deception. They change the flesh, the blood life force, which in turn changes the soul. Changes in the soul means it's no longer pure and cannot be admitted into the kingdom. Just imagine, synthesized blood from the ancient master sources, trauma-based infused into an unknowing host. Could be different strains of Nephilim bloodlines. I have no idea. Don't forget about our findings of the entire country of Great Britain who are artificially inseminated are being done so with just 9 donors. Within the same malfeasant song, the Vikings have a lock on the world's sperm market. The evildoers are laying their cards on the table and upping the ante each day. But wait! Here is yet another method of chimerism that can be used to mingle themselves with the seed of men. According to the Medical Daily, July 2013, under Can Organ Transplant Change a Patient's Personality? Cell memory theory affirms, yes. Quote, organ donors may be doing more than just saving lives. They may be giving a new life to organ transplant recipients. At the School of Nursing at the University of Hawaii in Honolulu, researchers sought to evaluate whether changes experienced by organ transplant recipients were parallel to the history of the donor. Researchers focused on 10 patients who received a heart transplant and found 2 to 5 parallels per patient post-surgery in relation to their donor's history. The parallels that were observed in the study were changes in food, music, art, sexual, recreational, and career preferences in addition to name association and sensory experiences. In the study, a patient received a heart transplant from a man who was killed by a gunshot to the face, and the organ recipient then reported to have dreams of seeing hot flashes of a light directly in his face. Example. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, not only the genetics and the ABO blood type change when you mingle the life forces, you also experience each other's experiences. How Nimrod became a giver? Was he the first Dracula? And how all flesh will be corrupted? Probably why the entire nations will be destroyed, leaving only a few. Is becoming clearer and clearer to me daily. What about you? Comment section is always open. Thank you for looking at this video, and look for the next. Sorry for the stumbles.